The states are taking children, giving them to somebody else for money that they get from the federal government. That means that all 50 states are involved in government-subsidized child trafficking. It's a ring. It is the largest and most pervasive child trafficking ring in the history of the world by sheer money and numbers.
Children are seized unnecessarily from their families due to the federal aid entitled the Adoption and Safe Families Act.
It was put into law in 1997 by Bill and Hillary Clinton, and I said it that way on purpose. And it is a law that literally steals money from the Social Security Fund and gives this money to the states in order to incentivize them to kidnap babies.
To receive the adoption incentives or bonuses, local CPS must have more children. They must have more merchandise to sell.
Every child, once you've added it all up, is worth approximately $1 million to the state. But we've been told that this is a $60 to $80 billion a year industry, meaning the federal government is taking $80 billion a year and giving that money to all of the 50 states to kidnap children.
Parents are victimized by the system that makes a profit for holding children longer and bonuses for not returning children to their parents.
But their own statistics state that 83% of all children who are taken by CPS, Child Protective Services, are for unsubstantiated allegations, meaning never should it have happened in the first place. So that imagine anything else in the world where you know you get it wrong 83% of the time and you admit it, but you just keep doing it.
Case workers and social workers are often guilty of fraud. They withhold and destroy evidence.
A woman who made hurtful comments about paedophiles on the internet has been visited by police who accused her of being untoward about paedophiles on YouTube. YouTuber Kelly Keane, known as Posey Parker, says that police were seeking to enter her property without a warrant following a report that Keane had posted some disrespectful words about paedophiles on the internet. According to Keane, the officers stated that she had been reported for a criminal offence, but they refused to specify exactly which crime she had committed. Mrs. Keane asked if she was being accused of a hate crime or a non-crime hate incident, but again the officers were vague about which law she had broken. When Keane inquired what she had done to possibly warrant 2 police officers to come to her house, one of the officers responded, "You've been untoward about paedophiles on YouTube." There was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, that being a paedophile was seen as the lowest of the low. Now, however, the police don't bother with investigating these individuals in modern Britain, but rather spend their time harassing anybody who says anything hurtful about them.
I'm popping out to my office and there's 2 police at the door. "Are you Kelly J. Keane?" I was like, "Yes." And they said, "Oh, can we come in?" And I said, "No." And he said, "We're here because we've had a complaint. Do you do YouTube videos or something?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "We've had a complaint. Somebody's phoned up because in one of your videos, you're being untoward about paedophiles." So I said, "Surely I'm allowed." I said, "It's a crime to be untoward about paedophiles?" He said, "No, do you know the video I'm talking about?" I said, "No, I make lots of videos in which I talk about child safeguarding and women's rights and not wanting men or anybody who is born male, which I would call a man, about them not using women's spaces." And I said, "I'm actually quite offended that you're here this afternoon to spend time telling me about being untoward about paedophiles." Well, the person was offended. I said, "Well, yes, and I'm offended. I'm offended that you're here trying to silence women, talking about the safeguarding of children." He said, "It's been recorded as a hate crime." I said, "Is it a hate crime or a hate incident?" And he said, "I'm not here to argue." He said he hadn't watched the video. And I said, "Right, okay, so let's say that somebody makes a video about anti-racism and I'm a racist. So I phone up and say, it offends me that somebody just made an anti-racist video. Are you coming out for that?" "No." "Right, okay, just to silence women then." Okay, as I said, it's recorded as a hate crime. And then we had the conversation about hate crime. hate incident. He said, I'm not here to argue. And I said, you tell the man that reported me. I said, and you tell him he can report me until the cows come home. I don't care.
Yeah. Stand strong. You know who you are. You are an individual created by the most highest creator. Yes. And you deserve to stand in your truth and in your honour, and nobody will strip you of that integrity and of who you are. And I will fight till there's one last breath in me for the future of our children. This is about the children. This is about the children, and this is about the real pandemic, which is child trafficking and child abuse. Yes. Okay? So, do I stand and prop up a government that covers for evil wrongdoing? Have you all seen the Ian Wishart article of 2007, which talks about the 1980s child trafficking ring in Dunedin operating in this country?
By police.
Covered up by Helen Clark. Okay? So, this is what we're standing for. And I will not be silenced. And it's never too late, okay? This is one thing I will say, hashtag it's okay to be wrong. If you are only coming to this information, new today, it is okay to review the data, admit you were wrong, and realise the truth and stand on the right side of history. So again, I congratulate each and every one of you who came out today. Each and every one of you have stood in your power for the last 2 years, regardless of the division. I salute you, and it's for our children that we can do this. The best is yet to come.
Because the storm has arrived.